Oklahoma incarcerated 700 people per 100,000 in 2014, making us the number 2 in the nation, with more than 1/4 of them held in private prisons. What do you believe we can do to lower the prison population, and should we utilize space in county jails instead of private prisons?
Okay, as for the county jails, a few years back, the Department of Corrections created contracts with counties and municipalities all over the state of Oklahoma. And they put prisoners in these facilities that often were updated by the municipalities or the counties. The way I had many county commissioners explain this to me was that it was actually helping out cash flow. They weren't making an extreme amount of profit, but they were able to pay bills on time. If they had to fix a new road chipper, or if they had to pay the asphalt bill, there was a little bit of extra cash. It wasn't an extreme amount of money, but it was putting jobs into our counties, which is always a good thing. We're paying to put the prisoners somewhere. I kind of like the idea of them being in the county facilities. Now, I probably talked to 8 county commissioners about this issue. I did talk to one person who's a lobbyist, and the story that the lobbyist told me was absolutely opposite of the story that the 8 county commissioners shared with me. So I would have a tendency to believe those people who are in the counties doing that work. I think they would know more about that, a little bit more about that. We need to be tough on crime. We need to let prosecutors have the jurisdiction to make choices so that we aren't randomly putting more people in our jails than we need to. But we also need to make sure that the people we're putting in there are in there. The people that need to go, they need to go and they need to stay. So we need to be tougher on crime. We also need to make sure that we're not just looking to private prisons as an easy answer, because it costs almost twice as much to keep someone in a private prison facility.
Yet again, I mean, if we're picking up and listening to all of it, some of the key words right there was, even at the legislature, you know, I promise you, I do my study. I talk to everybody that I can. Can a lobbyist be an asset at times? Yeah, but the key words that you heard right there, I took a lobbyist opinion. Well, a lobbyist is going to always just argue the side that is paying them. I'm not trying to badmouth them or anything else, because there are some good lobbyists. But the whole thing about it is, you have to be able to weigh it out for both sides. And some of the stuff that we talked about, even on the incarceration rate, it's not okay to be at the lead in the top in the nation of incarceration rate. That is why we have, in the last 2 years, have passed a lot of reforms to be able to start reducing that rate, to be able to make sure that we're not just throwing everybody in jail. And then the question was, you know, do I think that it should be incarcerated some in the county jails? Absolutely. That's already been proven by performance audit. Now, why Director Albaugh doesn't abide by that, that's, whatever, because I know that I've had some very, very heated discussions with Director Albaugh over what the performance audit had stated, and said that it's cheaper to keep them in county jails than to put them in private prisons. But the whole thing about it is, he's just going to do it, you know, his way for right now. But I tell you what, I mean, I think that we will have a new governor, and they will always try to do what's best for Oklahoma, and making the most of every dollar count. And it's your dollars that we need to be taking care of.
I think this is another place where schools, having counselors who are dedicated to the care of counseling jobs, counseling children in our schools, not having all these other jobs that they have, I think that would really go a long way with helping. And then I know that one of the county facilities in Cotton County had a thing worked out where they were having Bible study with some of these prisoners, and they felt like they were really doing the right thing. I think we need to open up some faith-based ministries and have more communication and more grassroots efforts to help make those guys that find themselves in prison, help them make better decisions, because eventually they're coming out and they're going to be in our communities and in our workforce.